Hello, everyone. Before we continue with our conversations about pride, we just want to let you know that we do pre record our conversations. And this conversation in particular, we shot around May before the tipping point for the movement for equality for Black people happened here in the United States. And we do hope that we achieve equality for Black lives soon. It is very important. I do know that Pride started as a protest. Currently, for Los Angeles Pride, the Grand Marshal is one of the founders of CSW Pride, Troy Perry, who also founded Metropolitan Community Churches around the world, and I attend MCC here in Los Angeles. So I am very proud of Reverend Troy Perry. I hope we're also able to celebrate Pride virtually, and the best way to celebrate Pride is to help fight for equality, because if there is no justice, there's no peace. And do you guys want to say anything else?
Nothing. Happy Pride and Black Lives Matter, and I hope you guys enjoy the show.
Yes, enjoy the episode. Wait.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Charot Room.
Hi.
Kinan.
I'm Lite. Yes!
Kim Chan. Kim C. Kim Chan.
Justine.
Well, it's June, and June is actually Pride Month. So that's why we're a little bit more festive today. I actually have my Mickey Mouse rainbow pin from Disney World, and I'm wearing Trans Pride t-shirt. Actually, it's from Trans Chorus LA.
Which you're a member of.
And everyone, what about you guys? What are you wearing?
Well, I have my Yas fan, which you can get from Wear It Apparel, and apparently they normally sell this during Pride and Pride events. And then this unicorn onesie that Justine asked me to wear, and this T-shirt that was given to me by one of my friends, Jenny Nicole. Shout out! Thank you for the T-shirt.
Yes. Yes.
And Justine, your tapis-tapias.
Well, I'm wearing the scarf from my work, so you can see improvise. It's hot. So that's that. And then bracelet, Trans Pride bracelet. Hey,
Unite!
Unite.
Ikaw, Kim Chan.
I'm just showing some love, sweet love.
You didn't get the memo.
I don't know
so today we're gonna talk about pride. What is it to you about being out and proud? How important is it
for us to be out and proud? Oh my God, is that my thing? Like keeping on like beeping and beeping.
I don't know. I don't hear a beep.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
I thought like I keep on hearing beep. Sorry. I'm like so distracted, but that's why it's important to be visible. So no, I think it's important to be visible because, like, look, right now Justine's wearing this Mariah Carey tank top thing from Loverboy, and all I can think of right now is just like how colorful and wonderful she is, and it's nice. Because if you weren't all visible, then I wouldn't know that I had sisters or daughters out there. Like that's why it's important. Like pride is important to me because it's also visibility.
Okay, Kim Chan, you're so quiet. Or Kim C. Or Kim Chan. Or Kim C.
Yes. Repeating what mother said. Ganon. Alam niyo na.
The first time I met you, Kim Chan, I didn't even know that you're trans. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Charot. Well, welcome to the Charot room. This is the Charotan part.
And now you're out and proud. You have a YouTube channel and you talk about your transness everywhere.
Yeah, well, being
Was
out
it
and
hard?
proud. It's actually because it's a bit foreign to me because it wasn't really like no one really asked me unless like so if I unless I out myself. So and I mean it's not a really big deal for me to be out, but it's just that it never like it wasn't discussed or it wasn't like that question wasn't like didn't came up to me. So whenever yeah, in my situation, but I'm pretty sure um it could be different for you guys. Like maybe Sis Justine, you can relate your story, or Sis Angel, that could be different with you.
Yeah, Justine, how are you? Are you very out in public or at work
Well,
or anywhere you
mhm.
go?
Yeah, I mean, to be, um, like he mean not until someone asks you, then that's only when you have to tell them. But sometimes people out you sometimes. But I'm out and proud.
Yeah.
I don't really care, especially at work. Because you have to be comfortable in who you are. So being out and proud is like being there to
Yeah.
inspire
And the first time I
everyone.
actually met you, Justine, you were volunteering for the LGBT Center event. It's like Evening for Women. Um,
Yeah.
so I think you're pretty comfortable with yourself, would you say?
I would say yes, yes. I do. I am. That's way to be happy.
Well, yeah,
And of course, Motherly is the one who introduced all of us together.
Yes, the one who connected all of
Another
us.
well, I don't know because like I lived a stealth life for I mean when was my first I lived a stealth life when I started to transition because I think that like that's the safest way for somebody like during the time when I transitioned. I think that's the safest way for somebody to keep a job, especially when it's more of a corporate level type of job or a
Yeah.
more conservative place of work. So I lived a stealth life, but then I still I felt something was missing, and I felt like there's more to my existence than just like working somewhere like that's conservative. So I sought out to volunteer for the LA LGBT Center, and that's where I became. And then I also went to like a LGBT friendly, open and affirming. What do you call this? Community of faith.
Church,
Yeah,
Metropolitan
Yeah.
Community Church.
yeah, community
Yeah.
of faith. So like for me, whatchamacallit, although it was hard to separate like my job before being stealth, now like and then also like doing because like I felt like I don't know how to explain things right now. I'm getting so distracted. I'm getting so many messages from people and I'm like, shut up.
Oh my God, you're so popular. Oh my
Yeah, so
goodness.
busy. It's totally different at work, right? Like for me when you said like it's the work environment is just totally different because no one really asked me when I started transitioning. Of course, no boobs yet. It's starting to. But then, although like I'm already wearing like just a t-shirt, like a sporty style look, and then people, and then whenever I go for a job interview, it's like they would like, what? Like, is this you? Like, because I had a different name back then, so I'm not gonna tell. But
I think you have to watch our other episodes. But
yes. It's different and sometimes people will like call me not like as a trans like they would think of me of like a like a hey Leslie like yo that kind of like name.
ah.
It's
one.
yeah, it's different but it's fun like haha jokes on you guys.
But I kind of agree with all of you guys that I mean you don't really have to kind of like hi hello I'm Angel I'm trans, so I feel like it's not being proud and out doesn't mean you have to put focus on that all the time unless the conversation or the topic kind of goes there. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah.
But I am proud of it if somebody asks me. It wasn't always like that because I used to be I think as what Lee was saying, because when I started to transition, that's when I met Lee, and she was like not out at work, but we had a lot of friends outside, And at that time, it was super important to be fishy. It's super important to be passable. It's super important that it feels like if they outed you, it's like you're not good enough
Is that,
because they
do you mean they outed you where? Like in,
like if somebody starts asking you, "Are you trans?" or "You're trans," or you know, like, and so at the beginning, I kind of would get shy and not know how to react to that.
yeah.
But now I'm kind of really comfortable, and now I don't really care if anybody knows. I actually prefer that everybody knows about it because it means I'm that popular.
Yeah, confidence.
Well, it's, I
Yeah, I
mean, it's
think.
still hard. I mean, I don't like telling everybody at the same time, but that doesn't make me less proud. It's just like, it's an aspect of my life. And,
Mhm.
but I also know that community for me is important, and celebrating with like people of like minds, like especially like in a lot of instances, it helps you cope with things that you don't know, like other people also experience. Because like when I was like working and being stealth for so very long, it was just like I feel really restricted, and I felt like I was lying rather than being
So
honest with myself. If I
speaking about community, on Pride events, do you guys join the community? Like what events do you join? Or have you joined or not joined or whatever?
well
Oh,
I kind of answered that. I mean, like, it's been a while, but I used to
Well,
volunteer.
specific to Pride events.
Well, yeah, I used to volunteer a lot at the LA LGBT Center. So I used to volunteer. I met you in particular, girl. I met you in trans, like Angel. I met you in trans pride, and I was like, "Who is that freaking bitch trying to own
Well,
this
I was
thing?"
like, who's this cisgender person volunteering at a trans pride?
So yeah, I volunteer for trans pride. I also am part. I since I go to MCC, Founders MCC, and also work at like transparent production for. Sometimes I'm at the MCC. For the most part, I go with the MCC contingent during Pride Parade here in LA, and sometimes I go with Amazon um, TV contingent for Pride. And I
Yeah,
know
Lee
just
is the most advocate of all of us in all the trans. That's why she's the one who connected all of us.
but then I
Yeah.
What
know
about you, Kim
Justine.
and Justine? I mean,
I
are
know
you still very active with like Pride events?
Justine was very
uh,
active last year, right? Justine, or 2 years ago.
I can't remember. Well, my last volunteer was at work. For my work, they have a booth for LGBT, the one in LA, the LA Pride. So they have the booth there. So it's just more like, talking to people, passing out flyers and, just being out and proud at the same time. So that's that. And then,
So did you wear your tapis for that?
yeah, this is actually from there. You know, that's the company right there. Anyways, so yeah, and then I met you guys. We also did a trans pride one time. I think you, Lee and Angel, and then another friend of ours, Ali, and then F Founders FCC. So that's that.
Yeah, we volunteered a lot for evening, like, but for Pride events. When did we go to Trans Pride together? I forgot.
That's the
For
one when we were promoting the booth.
trans
Oh
pride,
yeah, now I remember. We were doing the Trans Lounge.
trans lounge, yes.
Yeah, when it
Yes.
was just starting.
Like Kim is
Mm.
like saying like, "What are you guys talking about?" I am too. I'm like, I'm here channeling.
no, it's not. It's not. Because I'm not as active as you guys, like going to Trans Pride or,
Where's that, Pinay?
although, because before either I'd be working, because when I used to work, like it involves a lot of traveling or but then yeah, although like I see like videos, I watch videos, I watch you guys, or um and also I wasn't really aware of the pride because I wasn't as exposed to the LGBT community before. But since when I met Motherly, of connecting all of us. Yes. And then like my understanding the world of the LGBT community expanded for me. Like it's like, oh, this exists.
So what?
And
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
and so and so yeah, but although I mean I I don't attend as much. I have never attended, but although I'm active in a way that I'm a mentor for the LGBT community, for the youth, for the LA Lifeworks, or what do you call that? Lifeworks something.
You don't
So I'm
even know what
mentoring
you're
youth.
mentoring.
I'm mentoring a youth for the LGBT community.
How
Yes.
long have you
Hello,
been
hello
doing
to
that?
you. Just this year, 'cause, yeah, this year. Sorry, because it took some time for them to match you with somebody. So
Uh-huh.
I mean, I was I was already accepted last year, I think, late last year, and then I just got my oh no, I started last year actually, before December. Yeah, and yeah, I got my match by December last year.
Very
Well,
decent.
too bad that LA Pride is canceled, or I would have
Yeah.
dragged you because you should at least experience a Pride parade at least just once in your life. Because the first time I saw that in New York, because coming from the Philippines, I mean, I never really attended Pride events, let's say in
Yeah,
Malate or anything like that. Although I used to go party in Malate at night, but
yeah,
not like the actual parade on June. Um, it's actually nice hearing people cheer
yeah,
because it's like really like it's pride, you know, like
yeah,
it's celebrated. Like we grew at least like you know I think we all grew up kind of like being put down because of being part of the LGBT, and it's actually a day wherein majority of the people are cheering for you
Yeah.
for being out.
The
yeah.
Yeah, I mean the parade itself feels like my first one was in New York, and I was new because I was just in America for like a couple years, and it was like such an experience because you have to go early, ride the subway, go like to a certain
Yeah,
place so like you can stand, but it was
and it's
just so
super hot
nice.
in New York in the summer.
Yeah, it's super. It was not, but it was still a nice
Yeah.
experience. But like before, like the fact that you're going out somewhere as a LGBT person during that time, and especially coming from another country, I felt scared. It's like you'll never know, like when are you gonna get, like when if like right if somebody's gonna clock you or hurt you or do whatever when you're in the public transportation going
Well,
somewhere for
probably because
even if you're going for even
um,
going to Pride. Kim.
Uh-oh.
yeah, just
Karma. I call that karma. Kim, you pause just in case you don't know why we're laughing. It's probably not gonna look like that on the video, but that's how it happened. You're moving now, Kim, so you can speak.
Okay, good. It's I bet like the experience is just like it could be overwhelming but at the same time fun because coming from like looking through a glass like from a from an outsider point of view, I'm just like looking through a glass like, okay, how how does it how does it goes. But yeah, I would probably love to attend one of these days.
So next year, not this year.
Yeah,
2 years
this
from now.
is true.
I mean, there's a virtual Pride. I think.
It will be
What
different
do you?
though, but then being there in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next year, Kim, that's our
Yes, for
project for
sure.
you.
I
Your
think we should
Violet.
all go. I think we should all
Yeah.
go next year.
Because
What would? Well, I mean, what do you expect there? Because, um, I know like the parade is awesome, but then like going to that parade, what do you do first? What should I expect?
I mean, I
What should I,
guess it will be different on each parade, but my first experience is I got there early enough. And again, people started cheering as people walked by. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Charot. Charot lang yan. Charot. But I mean, it's just nice to see other friends and people, and everybody has the flag. One of the things you have to be careful though is some like there's also haters. There's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be like
Yeah.
the anti-gay like parading there, and it feels kind of hard like seeing that. Yeah, but it's a big group of people basically who's celebrating. It's
It's a
at
fun
least
feeling.
try it because it's hard to explain. It's hard to
Yeah.
explain. It's
Like the booth,
I don't even go to
the
the booth
parking.
much because I don't want to pay for it. Like I know like
Oh,
LA like has the booths and you have to pay for the entrance.
Yeah.
Just being on the street, seeing a lot of group of people from let's say corporate companies, let's say from MCC like churches. So you would know that there's like LGBT friendly or welcoming churches.
Yeah.
There's politicians. I mean, there's like beauty queens. There's like the drag
Mm.
queens. I'm sure you know. So like, it's like nice floats. There's like some
yeah.
hot bodies of like, like,
Yeah. I see a
like
lot
the
of
Abby, for
people
example, has like this.
topless.
Yeah, and then
It's
yeah,
not,
and it's
so like I like for the most part, like the things that I like the most is they're the P flag, like the parents of lesbian, whatever the acronyms for that means, but like parents for LGBT children sometimes also are there with their
oh
kids.
yeah. So like
So like
seeing
stuff like that. That's kind of
parents
nice.
with kids and parading their kids.
That's like very heartfelt, and like it's nice to see that churches or
Big
religion.
TV shows like Transparent before
Yeah.
they would have their own float.
And then also like for me also religious like churches like what do you call this, like other religions like mosque, like Muslims would be there sometimes, Muslims that are LGBT, which is kind of like I think something that's not really accepted. I don't know, I'm not so sure, but there's like also Jews for that are LGBT, which I'm not sure if it's also accepted, and also like Christians that are LGBT, which hopefully would be more like widespread right now. So like these are things that make me happy when I go and see Pride, because like things are changing and people are becoming more accepting for something that I don't think is even a bad thing in the Bible. It was just like a mistranslation, in my opinion. That's what I think. But like,
Mm.
And
go ahead.
Justine, what about you? Do you go to parades?
Well, 2016, I did, the first one was Long Beach. That was my first Pride ever. It was huge. Like it was my first time, so it was fun. We kind
So
of
what are the things that you liked about the parade
the parade in general. I do like
that maybe
you
you
know,
could think that Kim would be enticed to join?
I think it's more like like the booth, mostly for me, because like you would see like, okay, what are the communities or organization that
Oh.
focuses on what kind of program or services
Yeah, you
they
like getting the free condoms.
I mean that's automatic. They give you that, so
Yes, to be safe.
that's fun. So yeah, I do get that too, but I don't really use that much condom. We had to be. So you get those those limited edition like scarf or like the hats or shirts. Those are fun too. And then at the same time, they have those booths where you play games like the spin the wheel or whatever games
Oh,
they have.
but did you have to pay?
I think the one in Long Beach before you just have to pay like one price for everything. So they have the booth and then like the stages. The same with San Francisco and San Diego too. So I
What's
haven't
the San
really
Diego Pride
haven't
one?
known any pride which you have to pay the booth and the festival itself.
What
How
is
different were the Pride events on the different cities?
In terms of, I mean, Long Beach and San Diego and San Francisco, those are really big venues. And then mostly, I guess it's more like the stages. They have
Mhm.
like for Latin music or like for hip hop. And it's more like I guess difference in the music. sick and get the boost. So yeah.
Oh, nice. What do you guys do after the event? Or like how long is the
Well, you can
event
go
go?
in and out as much as you want, but it usually happens pretty much for the whole weekend.
Mm.
If it's a parade, usually it's on a Sunday. Um, but really, it's also hanging out with friends and kind of like yeah, just enjoy it. I mean, just
Yeah.
any of you guys.
I think my
Well, happy
internet's going in
Pride,
and out.
everyone.
My
Oh
internet's
no.
going in and
Happy
out.
Pride, everyone.
Okay, so let's wrap it up quickly.
Yeah.
Justine, last.
So yeah, well, I'm really happy to celebrate, Pride whenever, the June or the Pride might come. It's us. I mean, it's always us every day, every year. So it's just more like, I like to see people out there having fun and then just, embracing everyone and happy Pride. We
Okay,
all love
Kim.
you.
Well, happy Pride, everyone. It's about celebrating our uniqueness, our special our specialness, specialty. Yun, yun na yun.
English much.
Nawala yung thoughts ko.
Okay,
Oh my
Lee.
gosh.
Yes. Well, well, we can't be probably together, or it's still safer if we aren't together physically, but spirit and heart and intention, we're still here to celebrate. We should always not just have pride in like certain times of the year, but all every day, all year round. It might not be easy for a lot of people, that especially that are living in more conservative environments, especially with the social climate that's happening right now. But you know what, hopefully with us being visible and trying to make a difference in the world, things would change, and we can just like all know that love wins all the time.
Yeah, hashtag
Aw.
be kind.
Well, yes, I think we are all in this together. We're still far from actually having really a lot of equality, but we've come a long way. I'm so grateful for living in 2020. Like we can live out and proud, but Pride really started during the riots in Christopher Street because we weren't given the chance to live authentically. So I think we should just all stay together and be out and proud in our own little way if it's safe. And let's celebrate June and just remember that we are all in this together and we love everybody, LGBT or not, but because we're hoping for that all equality and love for everyone. Whatever, I kind of rumbled already. So anyways, thank you very much, everybody.
Charot!